What is going on? I'm Zedmont. Friday. Second best day of the week, perhaps. I'm more partial to Saturdays myself. Code Zedmont in that shop. We are going to do many things, boom. First and foremost, warships. Now, this is the warship. I have missed 2 chests at the second. You see my rank has plummeted, and that is because I was very indecisive. Wasn't sure what the heck to do next. Did the old wait and see, which is probably better in the long run, but it hurts in the short term. So we are going to go ahead and do the scary things, and that is we are going to get defensive building damage. On my other account, I have gone down this bottom road and have rushed towards 6 engine rooms just to try to do something different. It means no Kavan, it means I don't have shocks, it means I do have Barrage, which is helpful sometimes, but that account is doing poorly. Maybe show you that later. What we are going to do instead, though, we don't have enough keys for Seekers, which is kind of good because I have 0 troop damage at the second. We are going to go back and get that troop damage. We are going to upgrade that troop damage a little bit. And in advance of this, we're going to bump our Heavy Choppas up to 3. Might use them on these next couple attacks. Probably not. Do stick around. We will do some Seeker fun here in a second. But for right now, it's just warriors. I do have shocks, so we can do a little bit of fun, but it's going to be touch and go, and it's going to be ugly. Now, on my other account, I would just barrage that back right engine room, but we don't have that luxury, so need to figure out what the heck we're going to do. I am going to add in a boat of our good friend Rifles. What do we do here? I'm going to go something a little bit silly. We're going to put you guys up here? Yeah, you know what? Let's do that. Getting our rifle dudes up there should be somewhat useful. We are going to send Dr. Kevy Kavan. And can I save probably 2 boats for that back right? We're going to save 2 boats for the back right. And then we're just going to commit all of the rest of our friends and figure out whatever the heck we can do here. Because this is going to be ugly. I still don't have a plan. We're still just kind of making this up as we go along. Kavan doing a little bit of healing, not a ton. Kavan, I probably should have used our good friend Mr. What is that ability called? Ice Shields here. But I think we can do some decent efforts here as long as we can get back onto that machine gun right about there with a decent shock in place and just hope that we don't get eaten up by all of those mines. Kavan doing some decent work, some rifles doing some decent work, and overall probably not doing great work by me, but I think we can get back onto this cannon. And I think we've gotten all of these back 3 engine rooms. Definitely not a pretty attack. But you don't gotta be pretty, you just gotta get all the stuff down. And so we've gotten the shore one, where our warriors are healing up, so we're gonna send them back into here underneath the blind spot of that rocket launcher, knowing that when they're running, they're not healing, which is not a great place to be. But we have got some things happening here. So this is good. As soon as that back engine room goes down, we'll get the rest of our warriors running. And you know what? We can get them running now because they're going to clear that machine gun. And these back guys are going to get us a little teeny tiny bit more gunboat energy. And then I just need to use a ground flare to go right about there. That is going to be the important bit, hopefully skipping a bunch of those mines, and then as soon as we get even remotely close, we're going to throw that right there, throwing that shock out there, and then just hoping that we can get through all of this stuff. What do we shock next? I'm going to shock the cannon first, which is probably silly, but just got to get all of our stuff on that engine room. Not pretty. That is part of the reason why I'm hoping to get Seekers rocking and rolling, getting a little bit of extra fun value. I do like having to think on my feet with warriors, but you can see that Heavy Choppas and Laser Rangers are oh, we won! I did not even begin to expect that. So definitely will take that. Like that a lot. The fact that people are still clearing the base with building damage, with shock launchers, with mines, is a little bit crazy. Now, what do we do here? I am going to go something like... We're going to go slow again. I'm a lot bit concerned about those shock launchers. So we're going to send you guys out there. We're going to hang out a little bit here. This person's rocket launchers means that we can go a little bit slow. And I don't really have a plan for... I think I'm just going to bring all my troops to that back right-hand corner. And we're going to send these guys to clear that. And then these guys to clear that. And then once they get into position and start shooting away at that stuff, I'm going to send the rest of my warriors. Just using riflemen, A, to clear a couple mines, and B, to get a little bit of value on that right there. And then we're going to throw a shock there, and a shock there, and gross. Medkit, 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 medkit. Not great, not great, but we're still kicking. Let's get that shock on that Doom Cannon right there, and I think we're doing okay. Doing okay. Now we just need to get rid of that Doom Cannon before it starts bursting our bubble, and a couple of you noticed in the last couple day or so that Doom Cannons very much do splash damage. They will destroy, I think I've had them destroy up to like 40 warriors in one hit. It has been absolutely, absolutely silly, but that does happen on occasion, and when it does, you just cry yourself to sleep, because there's literally nothing... Oh no, oh no. Speaking of crying yourself to sleep, that was not a well-timed flare. That was not a well-timed flare at all. Need to get a medkit out there, and we're gonna get Kavan bumping out some new troops. I don't think we're going to be able to clear the other two engine rooms. I probably should have gone with Warrior Medic. And there is a decent hit for that, by the way. If you are struggling with Warriors, throw in 4 boats of rifles, 2 boats of Warriors, bring the Warriors out late, and then sneak yourself in 2 medics as well. And using medics and Kavan and warriors who heal themselves is not a super fun way to play the game, in my opinion, but it does work. This is not going to work. We are about to lose, and lose badly, but we're just going to let Kavan stand in there because retreating would take longer. Actually, you know what? We could retreat because there are some cannons in the way, but just don't want to risk him running up by that trophy. So we're just going to let him die. Come on, Kevy. Get yourself knocked out. So slow. So slow. And as soon as... I think we've got enough engine rooms now where we should be able to unlock the Seekers and give them a go, because watching me do this ugliness is not what I came to see. What I came to see today is all about... Look at that. The exact perfect number of keys. That's a little bit of a relief. Upgrading those Seekers. And now let's do some fizzling, my friends. I mean, that was a decent job of fizzling, but I am quite sure that we can definitely do better than that with Seekers. And before I forget, we need to change Kavan's ability. We're going to change to Ice Shields, I assume, because Second Wind bringing back Riflemen not going to help, unless maybe we send a flare to clear some mines. Don't really have a plan of what the heck I'm doing. I think I've seen one Seeker attack this season, which did not leave me super confident. Yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to go with this. And now let's do a quick drawing. I am going to send, say, 2 boats here, and then some boats over here, and then maybe some boats over here. This engine room kind of worries me a little bit. I don't really have a plan. Let's just get going. Let's just check the range of that. We can send Kevy Kavan right to there. And then as he gets up close and personal, we'll go something like that. And then just waiting, and then kaboom, kaboom. You guys get going, and then we're going to send 1, 2, 3 over there. Let's send a 4th one over there. What the heck? And then you guys go over here, and we'll get another shock on that, and another shock on that. I am going to be out of GBE about now, which is not super duper awesome. And let's just see how many engine rooms we can get. No troop health, definitely not going to be helpful for us. No medkits doing anything, also not going to be helpful. And just like that, we have gotten not a lot of engine rooms. We have gotten, what's that, 3 engine rooms. definitely need some troop health. So Kavan's ability definitely helped us a little bit, but Seekers are not going to be for everyone. So if you're looking at this going, Zed, I don't have instant training, I don't like Seekers, then definitely do give something else a shot. There are Laser Rangers. I will come back on my other account and talk about those things. The other account, like I said, is rushing forwards, though. Let's see if we can't get some troop health here. Right about there. Getting 20% troop health is going to help us a little teeny tiny bit, and then we're going to have to tighten up our hits because that was rough, my friends. Let's get going. We'll do one more, then we'll get into something else. Now. I think on that right-hand side looks pretty darn clean. I can come around as long as I'm hoping that they're going to wrap this way, which is going to get that engine room reasonably well. And then I can send a couple more boats up that lane. Let's just do it live, shall we? Where do we go? Where does that Doom Cannon reach to? Not very far. So that should be good as long as we can sneak up that far left-hand side. So we're going to send, let's go 2 boats over here. We're going to go 2 boats over here. And then we're just going to hang tight for a second and then reassess whatever the heck we got going on. So these front guys doing fairly good. I probably should have sent Kavan to stand up there and get shot in the face. And then once all of this stuff happens, we can get 1, 2, 3 up there and 1 over there. And then as they run by, Kevy Kavan is going to be a magical man. We are going to shock there and just probably need to throw a shock back here as well, just because of the fact that we only have 1 boat going back there. And if we don't get any sort of magic in that back section, this entire attack is going to be doomed. And you see how much that Doom Cannon, see that little segue there? That Doom Cannon just absolutely ate up like 50 of our Seekers. And now we have gotten our first full clear in 3 minutes, 6 seconds. They don't have shock launchers, they don't have shock mines, which are coming, but we are going to pick up the win. And this does work, or it did work yesterday, so I wanted to throw a shout out to Mr. Orion up there, way up there in, oh, he fell out of Diamond. Oh, come on, Orion, you're supposed to show you in Diamond with Seekers. So when I get a little bit gun shy, I hang back and see what's going to happen, and Orion is great for that because he dives in head first. We are going to do something now that I have not done in a minute. That is a Zooka operation attack. I've been doing a lot of Heavy Choppa hits. I've been doing a lot of mech speed hits. But you know what? I figured let's get back to the basics and bring ourselves one of these hits. We are going to do a Dioxin diagonal walk. I love this hit. It is lots of fun. It looks super impressive. And if you screw it up, it's really bad. And the fact that there are shock mines there and no defenses here makes me a lot bit nervous. That means our troops are going to walk kind of weird. Anytime defenses are missing, you end up with your troops walking in weird spots, and I wish I would have noticed that before I agreed to do this hit. We're going to throw an artillery there and an artillery there, and then just try to force our troops. You know what? Let's do a drawing mid-attack. So we are going to try to flare into about here, and then we're going to walk our troops up into there. It is a 45-degree angle. If you're not sure how to walk troops in Boom Beach, they either walk in straight lines or 45-degree angles in any one of those directions. So do yourself a favor and learn those angles, and your hits will be far better. And now we are going to hang out here for a little teeny tiny bit. We're going to wait until the 2-minute 15-second time. That way I can have all the GBE to make up for all of the mistakes I'm about to make. And I'm really tempted to throw one artillery on those shock mines. We shouldn't be anywhere near them, but my goodness is, you know what? Just to make our troops, you can use buildings to force your troops to walk where you want them to. And the buildings that we typically use are not here, so I'm a lot bit nervous. I want them to walk to the left of that machine gun and to the right of that boom cannon, and then they're going to walk right around that middle rocket launcher that has a little bit of damage around it. I think most of you, some of you, any of you probably know this hit. If you don't, do hit me up. I'll show you how to do it. It's a lot of fun. It's one of those hits that your task force members see it and they go, what in the heck just happened? So hopefully we can pull it off decently well, especially after having all that delay waiting and waiting and waiting for our troops to finish farming gunboat energy. We are going to throw a smoke about there just to be super, super, super careful. A random spot. That is the important bit. Come on, please don't hit the shock mine. Please don't hit the shock mine. And then, uh-oh, almost flared in the totally wrong spot. Come on, get skinny. Yes, used the buildings exactly how I was hoping to. So far, this is going magically. Brick is going to hit the mine, clearing all of the mines for us, and then all of our troops getting in position. Look how magical that is. Just doing all of the boom beachy things, and now we should be able... I can never hit this shock. Never, ever hit this shock. 1, 2, 3 there. Told you I can't hit that shock. Definitely missed the shock on the mortar. We're going to get one more battle orders. We're going to smoke our troops, and magically all of the things have gone away. That went very, very well. The key to getting your troops to walk nice and skinny is to throw that flare at the back before all of the troops fan out. So lots and lots of fun there. I love it when hits go decently well. That is an unboosted solo, which makes it extra double plus good. Now jumping over to the other warship that falls out of 14 right on cue. This is the one that I said I am rushing to. You see I've got the hot pot. I have just got all of my defenses just dropped, and then I threw an extra engine room at the back right hand corner just to make it so that people have to go slightly further. Losing to basically everyone on this account. Like I said, Barrage might not be the best answer, but it saves some keys, and I don't like tanks. But again, saving keys to get into that next engine room level, but you can see that the tech level is going to be a problem. So I'm going to have to you know what? Should we upgrade Barrage right now? That seems very, very, very tempting. Let's do that. Let's get our Barrage to max. Our Barrage now does 14,400 damage. Using Warriors again, just to show you one more way to fizzle. Warriors with no shocks is ridiculous. It is stupid, it is silly, you should not do it, but maybe it'll pay off a little bit down the road, we will find out. We are going to send only 3 boats to that back corner. That should be more than enough, and that is where, when you don't have medkits, when you don't have shocks, you need to use an extra flare to go extra wide, using ground flares to your advantage. I have preached this on the main base. It is so vitally important to use ground flares. Otherwise, those flamethrowers would have done way more damage to us. If you don't understand why ground flares are better, please let me know. There is all sorts of benefits with ground flares, like I just showed you on Dioxin, getting your troops to walk nice and skinny. Hey, look at that! I did not plan that segue at all. We're going to throw 2 barrages on that Doom Cannon back there, because without a shock, Doom Cannons just absolutely eat up your troops. It is crazy just how quickly your troops die. And speaking of watching how quickly your troops die, I need to get one more medkit just to get past all of this stuff, hoping that we can get some form of troops to that back corner. Probably should have flared onto that machine gun, but I do need to get rid of all this stuff anyways. And one machine gun not doing tons and tons of damage, thankfully. Look at this. We are going to be decently quick here. Going to throw this barrage here and hope that it does not kill all of our warriors, hoping that those final rockets land before our warriors move on over there. And we're going to get a decent time, 228. So barrage does work without shocks. It is silly. It is ridiculous. But every single season I give in and go back for things in the tech tree such as Shock, such as Troop Health, maybe even Rudy, but this time just pressing forward, trying to get that advantage of being the first one to be at Bombardiers or Shock Mines or Critter Launchers. One of these things is going to give us an advantage at some point, and the final meta is probably going to be Heavy Choppa rushing of some variety, and Heavies definitely will make that more interesting. So that is the second tech tree. I have gotten up into 14, have not had the time or the wherewithal or the efforts to push it in to 15. But you know what? Let's give one more attack with these guys. See if that extra barrage goodness is helping. What was happening before is once in a while against some bases, I would throw 2 barrages. I would end up not killing the Doom Cannon, and that is not a great place to be. When the Doom Cannon is not down after 2 barrage and you don't have shocks, you know that your warriors are just absolutely going to get toasted. Okay. We've done... Whoa, what the? Not now. We don't need to upgrade the watch. Apparently there's a new iOS, new watch update available. I've got a new phone coming. Super stoked on it. The iPhone 16 Pro Max, I believe is the word on the street. So looking forward to that a lot bit. This is going to be rough. Doom Cannon, shock launchers. No troop, no building damage or building health though, which should help us a little bit. I'm going to go from that back corner and come all the way through. I think this is going to be... I'm just going to send all of the troops. We are going to send all of the troops. We are going to flare them onto that shock launcher. I'm going to throw a barrage. Uh-oh. Okay, that's a barrage. That's good. We're going to throw a barrage on you and just see where things stand. Should be pretty good. Yeah, see, barrage does not get rid of Doom Cannon. That means bad, bad, bad things. And now we're just going to let these guys back here kind of just spread, because otherwise all of them are going to end up on those back mines, which would not be terribly, terribly good. Let's get over into here, guys, away from all of the rest of the bad things. And now you can see why warriors without shocks is not a great place to be. At least we've gotten rid of the rocket launchers, and we're gonna head on back into here. Why the early flare, you might be asking, is to try to save those last couple warriors getting onto that machine gun. Is this a great way to play warships? No, let's be honest here. There's a lot of fun out there with Heavy Choppas and Laser Rangers. There's a lot of fun out there with Seekers, and there are more troops coming. Rudy looks to be one of the mostest funnests, but we shall wait to find that out in a little teeny tiny bit as far as what those final metas are. This season, you know what? Let's flare back into here. Maybe the wrong side of that shock launcher, but my theory here is that maybe we can just sneak in there, hide away from that machine gun for half a second, and hopefully, yeah, it didn't work. So maybe, just maybe, we can get one more engine room if we flare back in here carefully and just kind of hide in that back corner. Again, hiding is not a great way to play warships, but we are slowly but surely getting engine rooms here, and this is just beyond ridiculous. So I don't recommend this. I just wanted to show it because I keep mentioning the fact that I've got a second tech tree, and this is the second tech tree. Full on ridiculous mode, full on not super duper fun mode. It's like Seekers, but without the extra damage and just silliness. So that is that gross Turtle Powers Teenage Mutant. To continue the do all things boom, we are going to do an operation attack on massive attack using Everspark. We are going to do Green Court, which is a lot of Task Force's nemesis. Now we are going to try to get rid of 3 of those rockets and probably not the microwaver. So we are going to throw you their artillery on those rockets, means that Everspark will hack them next. We are going to send you right to there. That walk is going to be super critical, because if Everspark goes to the wrong spot, then she's going to end up dying. There we go. I was waiting for her to drop those critters. Otherwise, she's going to drop them when we want her to be doing some hackings. And then we are going to go something like this. you'll notice that she is going to be in a very, very precarious location here. We are going to click that button. You'll notice that she turns towards that rocket launcher. That is not the worst thing. We want her to hack this one, though, and that way we know exactly where she's going on her next turn. There's hack number 1. There's hack number 2, and there is hack number 3. So very, very, very difficult timing. I got a little bit lucky there. Everspark was very close to dying that entire time, but we got rid of the 3 rockets that were in play. So now we can do a little bit of fun here. We're going to go something like this. I am going to use 3 boats here because I am a little bit concerned about all of those cannons. Now, once they get nice and tight and groupy, we are going to flare back to there. I am going to throw 1 smoke about there. And then as we get in close and personal, up close and personal, we are going to drop a flare in about 3, 2, 1 now, sitting wrapped around. Look how magical that is, wrapped all the way around that mortar. We've got in the neighborhood of 39 Zookas wrapped all the way around that mortar, doing wonderful, wonderful, wonderful things. And now we can send the rest of you ladies over here. Probably should be getting rid of that mortar as well at shore, because as you can see there, it is doing a bit of damage to some of our ladies. But I'm going to go try to get the microwaver first, and we're just straight up setting up for a core hit. That's our only job here, is A, to not eat many of those green cells, and B, set it up so that the next person can do a decently good core hit. We are going to flare up to here, and we're not, you know what, I'm going to use like 1 smoke about there. And then as our troops get into position, we are going to throw a shock about there, and then a flare onto... Uh-oh, I missed my shock. That was terrible. Gross. Just absolutely terrible shocking by me. Now we just need, yeah, that laser to not wreck our troops. So definitely not a perfect setup attack, but on the plus side, did a little bit of help, and now we're just going to throw all of our GBE onto that front mortar and then run the heck away. Good, but not great, which kind of sums up a lot of things going on with my Boom Beach skills at the second. Maybe should have just left it at Dioxin, but let's keep moving, shall we? One neat thing about the upcoming update. There's an update coming at some point. We don't know when or how or why, but they have told us that HQ level 26 was a defensive headquarters. HQ level 27, yes, HQ 27 confirmed, is going to be an offensive headquarters level. So the headquarters level 26 did give us the bunker. What headquarters level 27 is going to give us to make it offensive, I don't know. Maybe that gives us Rudy Tooty. Maybe that gives us a new building. Maybe that gives us a new troop or a new hero. I don't know. All I know is that they've said it's going to be offensive. And I can't just see them giving us like an extra level of Zookas or something like that, or an extra level of gunboat or an extra level of armory. That is not enough, I don't think. So it's very, very curious to see what that's going to mean when headquarters level 27 comes out. And that's, yes, when it comes out. It has been confirmed. They're going to go defense, offense, defense, offense. Not sure how many headquarters levels they've talked about publicly, but I know that they have got this defense offense thing rocking and rolling, and I find that to be pretty darn neat, the fact that they've got an actual roadmap. I mean, based on how Boom Beach was done for a little while there, it's very, very nice that they have a roadmap laid out, and the fact is that good things are happening. So I know there's a whole bunch of people who have nothing better to do than come on my video and comment and say, why would I care about this? The game is dead. Well, obviously you care a little bit, because you're spending your time to come comment about a game you think is dead. It just does not compute in my brain. People, we're getting crystals though. And this account, in case you are unawares or you're wondering what's missing, this account has 0 victory points. That's why there is no victory points up in that top left hand corner. When I click on my rank, we don't get the different ranks from marshals and all of the rest of the things. So a little bit strange, a little bit weird. I probably should be using one boat of Heavy Choppas here, just because Heavy Choppas on the main base is a little bit awesome, or a lot bit awesome. I wonder if we could beat this with just Heavy Choppas. Probably would not be a good idea, but the crazy thing here is my headquarters level 18 Heavy Choppa is probably stronger than my warships Heavy Choppa, I think. Someone could tell me if I'm right or wrong there. This Heavy Choppa is dropping real heavies, like real heavies, but I don't know if those are higher level because of the way Warships maps things. I really don't know, but we're just going to keep dropping all of our GBE along this backside here, and then using battle orders to clear through all of this stuff as the heavies do wonderful things. Let's get over into here just to try to get away from all of the rest of the stuff, and then battle orders yet again, trying to get our Zookas away from that rocket launcher so that it does in fact turn towards our Heavy Choppas. Again, this is Imitation Game Stage 3. Let's not get too excited. But Heavy Choppas, lots and lots of fun on the main base. If you're not using them, do consider doing so. But do know that they get to be a lot more fun when you get two of them in a landing craft. Kind of like Rocket Choppas and Rainmakers and Scorchers and all of the rest of the things. Is there a mine hidden there? We're just gonna do it here. Whoa, little bit weird and wonky on the zoom ins and outs. Let's get going back to here, hoping that that Heavy Choppa does distract that Simo for a second. Now Brick is almost certainly going to die. Brick always is the one that dies when it comes to Simos, but it looks like maybe she managed to make it through for once in her life. And now, if you want an example of how not to build a base, this is a great example. One shock should be getting 3 boom cannons, both their rocket launchers and their shock launcher. Please don't design your base like this. That is just lazy and bad. Keep shocks in mind when you build your base. My goodness, and I wish Imitation Game still showed the name of your opponents. 8 Zookas lost. Not sure Heavy Choppas are the right answer for this, but they are the answer of the day. We are going to keep going, trying to get all 7 stages with our headquarters level 18 account. And now we need to throw a barrage and hope that the barrage gods are smiling down upon us. It looks like maybe they are. Managed to get all of the things. 1, 2... all of this stuff sneaking over to that right-hand side, and that is why that nice straight line of flags is so gosh darn important. Just watching how wonderfully they all walk into that bottom corner, so good. Now, we're gonna throw a battle orders. I'm gonna throw a shock about there and a shock about there. And now we're just going to have to hope that our heavies do us a little bit of a solid getting out front and clearing all of those mines. It's kind of like Heavy Zooka, but with a little bit of extra oomph thanks to those Heavy Choppas. Heavy Choppas staying in the air and hitting on the ground as well. This is not great, but that was I thought that was stage 6 for some reason. That was not great. Heavy Choppas eating up bunches of our GBE and heading in the wrong direction, not doing great things. Probably should be using Everspark with that troop layout to clear a couple extra mines. We are running low on gems, sadly. Again with the bad base layout. Like, look at this. We can shock 1, 2, 3, 4, like just so much stuff all at once, and I'm kind of tempted just to walk through this base. Let's see, is your ice applying? No. Notice that that's supposed to be glowing, but it's not actually, or is it? Yeah, maybe it actually is. They just got a bad ice statue. So, rocket launcher under construction, can shock all of that stuff on the right. I think I forgot to load troops, didn't I? Yep, I sure did. There is the mistake that's probably going to cost us right about there. This person's mines are frankly awful, but they've got a little bit of ice and we're only headquarters level 18, so we're going to waste all sorts of GBE at the front. Oh gosh, this is bad. There is our shock to try to keep our Heavy Choppa alive. There is our shock to try to keep that back stuff. And this is why walking through bases at a low headquarters level, not super duper recommended. Let's throw one more shock there and just one more battle orders and just try to clear as much of this as we can, which is going to put a lot of emphasis on level 7. I don't think I'm actually going to be able to get all of the stages of Imitation Game. Not that it really matters, but it matters a teeny tiny bit for our pride. Just awfulness. Is there any sort of troop mania where we could save a couple diamonds? If not, I'm going to have to buy diamonds, which is never a good time. What do we got for troops? 90% off warriors. Hey there. Just continuing with the theme of the day. Warriors are a great time. Not so much on warships or at headquarters level 18 before you get bullet. But we're just going to have to roll with it. No Heavy Choppas this time. All warriors all the time. We should be able to diamond finish these things. And also, don't forget, riflemen are so darn cheap to load. And they load so darn fast. I love that change that was made. Warrior Mania, almost like we planned it, but definitely did not plan it. So there goes that. There goes that. We are going to throw a side flare. We're going to drop brick and then all of these dudes. And then we're going to flare right to there, throwing that smoke, watching brick get absolutely deaded. And then onto the headquarters. Almost said engine room, almost said a couple different things, almost swore a couple times at that attack, but let's go. Shock, medkit, and then shocked very early. No brick means this is going to take a lot of extra time. Brick was going to make this attack possible, and now our medkits are gone, our GBE is gone, and our warriors are just standing in. Are we going to fizzle on the main base? It looks like we did fizzle. That is just beyond awful. Wow. Okay, so I'm sad right now, and I can't even find my... Yeah, that was rough, my friends. That was the worst warrior attack that I think I've ever done in the history of time. We let brick die. We don't get another attack on stage 7. We'll look at stage 7 just to see if we could have taken it down with our low-level warriors, but at least we spent our extra diamonds to load our boats just to barrage the core, which I understand why they put that in place, but it's still frustrating. Let's look. No attacks left. Definitely could have taken that down because it's one shock here and then one shock here, and then those rockets will, yeah, it would have been fine. Gross. Okay, why do we have... We're still getting raided. By the way, when you're at 0 and you get raided, you somehow lose a victory point, but you don't go down a victory point. I was very curious if we'd go into negative or if we'd hit like a bajillion in reverse somehow and end up number 1 on the leaderboard, but no, you just stay at 0. How many accounts do you have, Zedmont? Yeah, I know, code Zedmont in all the accounts is painful, but it is important and it is greatly appreciated. We are going to do a Duplexity hit. This is not going to be a sexy hit. This is going to be a very dangerous hit that I'm probably going to screw up, but we might as well end the video on a giant screw up. So we need to get rid of this rocket launcher and this rocket launcher, but they're both very much covered by all of these CMOs. So we are going to try our darndest to shock the CMOs and get rid of things. My number 1 priority is this rocket launcher, but I'm going to flare the other one, so it's going to be awkward. And so I just checked the range of those CMOs, and then I threw an artillery, and I lost it. Not ideal. We are going to send Everspark about there, flaring her back to there, getting her into a safe little spot, losing a bunch of health, and now we're going to go 1 and 2, because I don't really know exactly where the range of that stuff is, and now we are going to flare over into about here, and we're going to shock back about there. I'm going to click this button, I'm going to flare back there, and then as that pops out, all of the goodness happens, and we didn't screw up terribly bad, which is Nice. Not great, but not awful at the same time. So now we're gonna do something like 1, 2, 3 over on this side, getting a little bit of damage on that right hand side, drawing those critters over there. And now what shall we do next, my friends? I think I'm going to just let them do some work over there as a couple Zookas turn and get rid of the critters from the launcher, which is kind of handy. Come on, don't make me drop more boats on that right hand side. Okay, we're out of range of those CMOs. That's good. And now we're just going to try and do anything useful whatsoever. So we're going to throw a shock about there, a shock about there, and then just drop all of this stuff on this right hand side. And just hope that we can somehow clear out some of these things. Let's get one of these things, there we go, just to try and clear a couple extra mines. And now that that's done, we'll throw our barrage back here on that machine gun. And we've done a decent job. There's probably going to have to be one more person that comes in and gets one more rocket launcher just to clean things up a little bit, but that is how you attack Duplexity unboosted, just trying to help. And notice that this rocket launcher probably needs to go, but that rocket launcher is slightly farther from the CMO, which will help things. This rocket launcher does not reach, which is good. Someone will go hack that back rocket launcher, and then they'll send troops in and clear from back there. We cleared some of these extra mines to the front, which didn't do a heck of a lot, but at least it's something. Slightly better than it was, helping out the task force. And in a 50-member task force, that's all that's really required, is do a little bit of help and then go out here and destroy some of these things. Guaranteed intel for the task force. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, getting that puppy down. And we've got some intel for the task force. We've helped clear Trinity. That's going to be maybe 2 attacks at worst. Then there's 3 more for Maze, which leaves in the neighborhood of 16 or so left over. So hopefully this helped you. Hopefully I gave you some new info. Hopefully this entertained you. Are you not entertained? I am Zedmont. Thank you for coming in, using the code, but more importantly, liking, sharing, subscribing, and most importantly, commenting. Thanks for coming in. I'm Zedmont. Peace.